we have another ranking. Starting to like doing this a little more. Okay, so this was by far the hardest ranking I've ever done. Because listening to this discography, something I never really did fully until like the last half week or so. And I've already known about this band for a long time, but I've never really deep dove until I picked up their debut record, and I recently got one of their other records for Christmas. Now, obviously, as you guys know, some of you who follow me on Instagram, you already know that I'm talking about these guys. Death. So, essentially, deep diving into this amazing discography, and that's what I want you guys to remember. This discography is amazing. So, the problem with that is, when you only have 7 records, okay, 7 records, and every single one of them is a literal fucking vat of perfection, it makes this kind of thing very difficult. Like, there's probably people that are going to be in the comment section that are either A, going to agree, maybe have one or two in a different spot, and for the most part, I would say agree with the top 3. Although 2 and 3 could easily be switched. And that's just the thing, like, it's death. How do you actually fucking rank this and not want to change it 1,000 different times? So, after my first day of listening, I had everything set. Like, I literally had everything set. I could have shot the video then. But, I was like, no, I want to give a couple more listens. And I literally just put them in the final order just now. So, without further ado, I'm not going to give the whole lineup, or I'm not going to give the whole bio, because I mean, if you've seen the documentary, you know. If you love the band, you obviously know. But let us start. Now, those 2 records are the only 2 that I have. I am actually going to be going out and buying the other 5 that I need on vinyl. I would prefer vinyl. They are definitely the reissues. Quite expensive for some of the OGs. But if I find one, hey, I'll get it. So, to start off at number 7, we have released on August 31st, 1998, Sound of Perseverance. Now, obviously, as you guys know, Chuck Shuldiner is the guitar player and the vocalist on every one of these records. Shannon Hamm is on the guitars. Richard Christie is on drums. And Scott Clendenin is on bass. For some dumb reason I put drums here, but I must have drums in the head. So on this here, the one song that really stuck with me the most was Spirit Crusher. It's just the one song that I literally remember the most. I don't hate this record, but it's just far too proggy for my liking, which is funny because once we get further in, you're gonna be like, well, how is that not? How are the rest of these not proggy? Well, that's because they're not. Other than Spirit Crusher, production-wise, it's good. I mean, obviously, it's a great record, but the problem is that you have to put a number beside some of these, and unfortunately, that's where number 7 is, basically. So that's that, unfortunately. Moving on, number 6. We have released on February 6, 1990, Spiritual Healing. This was a solid follow-up to Leprosy. And the songs off of here that really stuck with me the most, obviously, was the title track, and as well as Altering the Future. Again, amazing record. You just got to put a number by it. The lineup for this was Chuck on guitars and vocals, James Murphy, who is an amazing guitar player, excellent producer as well, Terry Butler on bass, and Bill Andrews on the drums. It just, honestly, it wasn't as high as I had expected, because I actually really like the album cover. And the thing about Death is that all the album covers are awesome too, by the way. Sound of Perseverance, that always threw me off. I thought it was Chuck's face leaning back screaming, but I was actually wrong. Spiritual Healing has got, like, some sort of a preacher, and he's about to hit some dude and knock the devil out of him. Back off. And of course, going into number 5, we have the debut record, Scream Bloody Gore. I've always seen this album cover and been like, this is literally the baddest thing I have ever seen. This is absolutely fucking killer. With tracks, I mean, literally, just, I think there's only like 2 tracks off of here that I'm not a big fan of, Beyond the Unholy Grave and Land of No Return. That doesn't mean they're not good songs. They just weren't favorites of mine. I mean, Infernal, Death, Zombie Ritual, Denial of Life, Sacrificial, Mutilation, Regurgitated Guts, Baptized in Blood, Torn to Pieces, Evil Dead, title track, Scream Bloody Gore. All of these are fucking awesome. This record is awesome. And the thing is, there's only 2 dudes on it. It was released in May 25th, 1987. I mean, it's literally just Chuck and on the bass, all the guitars, the vocals, and Chris Reifert was on the drums. I mean, just fucking amazing record. But again, it's got to sit at number 5 because there are 4 other records that are there. Okay? Like, that's just it. So number 4, we're going to go to released in June 22nd of 1993. We have Individual Thought Patterns. The reason why this wasn't higher, something about the production just didn't sit with me as well, and I don't know why, because honestly, Individual Thought Patterns easily could be number 2 in my eyes. But again, it's at number 4. Chuck, Steve DiGiorgio on bass, Gene Hoglan on drums, and Andy LaRocque on guitars. And Andy LaRocque, as everybody knows, he was, I believe, with King Diamond and Merciful Fate. Just a hell of a guitar player, and honestly, fucking one of the best. This record was super, super pissed off. I mean, the production wasn't bad. It just wasn't, it was off about it. So the title track itself is killer, Mentally Blind's killer, and The Philosopher, which got its video was famously put on Beavis and Butthead. Now, moving on to number 3. This is going to cause some shit, and I'm sure you guys all know. That is August 12th, 1988's Leprosy. Now, you're probably thinking, uh-oh. Obviously, some of you are probably thinking, okay, which is 2 and which is 1? So the thing is, and I gotta stress this, it's not that I don't want to have Leprosy at number 2 or number 1. It's at number 3. And like I said, this was fucking hard. So you had Chuck on the guitars and the vocals, Rick Ross on guitars, Bill Andrews on drums, and Terry Butler on bass. Production-wise, this is a truly timeless classic. Okay? Pull the Plug, Born Dead, Open Casket, Leprosy, Pull the Plug. This band just fucking rules, okay? Let's just face this fact right here, right now. And the album cover is literally just a fucking zombie in a cloak, and he's kind of like pulling his, you know, pulling it back so that you can see his, you know, sort of decaying face. And it's fucking killer. And it's a pink album cover too. It's rad. And just everything on this fucking rules. The problem is that the second one, number 2, which is, as I'm sure you guys are probably thinking, March 21st, 1995's Symbolic. Now, Bobby Colby joined on guitars, Kelly Conlon was on bass, and Gene Hoglan was on the drums. From the title track, Crystal Mountain, holy fuck, Crystal Mountain's killer, 1,000 Eyes, Zero Tolerance. Again, the whole discography is fucking killer. And Symbolic just set, I think the title track itself is the one that really made me go, okay, this has to be number 2. Obviously, well, Symbolic and Crystal Mountain. All of it's just fucking amazing, okay? And just some of the best stuff that they put out was on that record. And so, yeah. Moving on to my number 1. Obviously, there's only one left. And that is October 22nd, 1991's Human. Everything about this record fucking screams. Every fucking ounce of this screams. And I'm going to go back and show you the actual vinyl. I think I already showed it before, but I'm going to go over and show this, or I'm going to show this, and then I'm going to go back and do Scream Bloody Gore after. So, outside of the shitty fucking cover that they did at God of Thunder, there's just not a damn thing on this record that's bad. There's absolutely no song on here that is bad. It's perfection. It's got my favorite lineup. And the thing is, and this is not a shot at, you know, fucking, you know, Genie Hoglan or anything. But this here's got Chuck on vocals and guitars. Steve DiGiorgio on bass. Oh, God, he's so good on this record. Paul Masvidal on guitars of Cynic, and also of Cynic, may he rest in peace, Sean Reinert on the drums. Flattening of Emotions. Suicide Machine. Together as One. Secret Face. See Through Dreams. Cosmic Sea. Vacant Planets. And of course, the absolute best part of this record, Lack of Comprehension. I mean, you know, nice little back cover, nothing too fancy. Obviously, the fucking front. And I showed this the other day because when I got it for Christmas or whatever. So this is what they have. They call this the butterfly splatter. You know, sort of a beigey sort of color, and this sort of, you know, the butterfly wings. Oh, gee willikers. No breaks, no scratches. Still brand new. So yeah, I mean, how can you actually, you know, how can you actually just like hate this record? I mean, there are people that I know that would put this last, and I don't even have a clue why, or as to why. I mean, that to me is just like a fucking sacrilege. So that's basically it. And of course, like I said, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, from Scream Bloody Gore. Chuck and Mr. Reeford. And I love this color. It is fucking absolute killer. You know, you got the little skull dude, this little splatter, flip around, you get the little innard there of the ghoul, the zombie type dude. Just awesome. And of course, you know, that's that. So, as I said, I'm going to be picking up over the next little bit. I'm going to make sure I get the rest of these on vinyl, because honestly, this discography just fucking smokes. And again, I've reiterated this through the whole video. Like, you guys have to realize that this discography is fucking killer. I mean, killer. Every record is amazing, but the problem is, if I'm gonna rank them, I gotta put a number beside them, and that's it. Like, this is, like I said, this was not an easy. I mean, I put it up on Facebook, like that I was doing this, and I'm like, people were commenting. I'm like, this is so fucking hard, and one of my buddies, Rick Galvez, who has a band himself, or he's basically a one-man metal project, he mentioned Symbolic, and I'm like, and as he mentioned that, I was just about getting ready to listen to Symbolic, and of course I listened, when the first time I did this, I listened to it in order, and I'm like, man, I really dig the fucking Symbolic more and more than I ever did before. And it makes it very hard. And I've been listening the last 2-3 days at work. The very first day I listened to it was Saturday, and that was in order. And then of course Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today was just put it on repeat on my phone. Like I said, man, this is not easy. So again, in case you missed it, or just a recap: number 7, Sound of Perseverance; number 6, Spiritual Healing; number 5, Scream Bloody Gore; number 4, Individual Thought Patterns; number 3, Leprosy; number 2, Symbolic; and number 1, this. Fight me on this one. I will mangle you in the comments. Actually, no, I won't, because most of the people who follow my channel like this record. So, anyway, guys, keep it heavy, keep it in the death vein, and just enjoy your day. Well, evening now. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. I'll see you soon.